pharmacy, but we're passing St. Paul Lutheran's Church. And our sermon for the day is Jesus says, I am with you. And that looks like it's Genesis 25, or 24:25. That's what it looks like on the thing. All right, prescription. This is at Perone in Fort Worth. We're gonna go ahead and show it. And I'm crying bully. This is a form of bullying. I'm gonna show you it's 74 miles with a drop off. They're only paying $30. It's a form of bullying. All right, it's a $74, this is a $74 order. They're only giving me.
Check conditions before you go.
74 miles is where we're going, hour and 16 minutes. We'll arrive at 9 o'clock, so we won't get back until 10, and they're only paying $30-something, like $38. The amount that they should be paying is probably closer to $70. So that's about a $40. It's a pretty big theft charge against them. This is going against Roadie, okay? So we'll go to the Supreme Court sooner or later. My father won't see it happen, but we'll be there, and we're all going to sit down and talk before the Supreme Court. See if this is correct, if this is American, or where this comes from. And we're going to find out all the names and people that are behind it. And we're just going to ask what they were thinking at the time, and they can explain it. Here is the video proof. I am Cole Spivey. This is the Please Subscribe Show, and I'm reporting Roadie. It's 74 miles. Hour and 12, 8:57, and they're only paying $37 for that. So there. I think every single one of them that this QT has like bags over them, so they're, I guess, no gas here. Parked car there, but still no gas. So I'm listening to the Austin Film Society talk about Blue Velvet with Richard Linklater, and everyone seems to be so dang interested. Yeah, Blue Velvet made my number 6 on all-time best movies. It might go up a little higher. I put Bergman and stuff like that out of respect a little bit higher because those are the forefathers. I think Wild Strawberries and Seven Seal, of course, 2 of the ones I saw when I was younger, and I'm not a Bergman expert, beat it out by a few notches, but Blue Velvet easily could be the best because it's not just fun and it's not just noir. It's just the mystic side of filmmaking that needs to be, it just needs to be there. And he knows the dream life, and Linklater has explored it, the dream life, and that Lynch approaches it as a painter with great color. Later we'll be having some snacks. I like spicy hot nuts. I like it to be very spicy. I know Uta Hagen didn't want actors to eat lots of spice, but I like it spicy, picante. And if they're going to be nuts, I like it to be kind of like Sabritas kind of thing. I like the other ones that are known as munchies. These other brands over here, which is right here, these are a little bit cheaper. They don't have as much of a kick, but they are standard Lance, hot and spicy. I would like to quote, or I'd like not to quote, sorry, I'd like to talk about dreams and cinema and Lynch. I think it's instinctual, and I think him going to meditate is also instinctual. Because of his line of work and who he is, and most don't do what he does. So you have a lot of trite films that are there in its place, It's kind of like if you saw Michelangelo and then you had all these other sculptors just kind of halfway doing it. But Michelangelo probably meditated. Transcendental meditation is something I focused on back when when we were studying Henry David Thoreau in creative writing. But it's hard to do because of the inhibition, the multicultural aspect of it. Transcendental meditation is usually something that's neglected, but people that are involved in yoga, which I used to do lots of yoga, especially, I still try to, especially if I have an injury, I go right to yoga. And if we do this fighter film thing, mostly I'm going to do lots of yoga. Not like it as exercise, but I will do lots of yoga as in kind of treatment, because I'll have to work out and I'll have to be super fit. We're going to pass Six Flags here pretty soon. I'm going to show you how my dad, how he would eat nuts. Pour in his hand like this, and he'd go like this. Like shaking the, so you can see the nuts in it, like shaking the salt off of it or something. They'd pop them. I like them spicy. Like that. Really good. But I highly recommend Blue Velvet. It's just, there's something about the whole apartment aspect to it, the separate ear. Richard Linklater said that was kind of maybe connected to Vincent Van Gogh or something. But the mystique aspect of it, the mystery is what is entertaining. We're going to see Six Flags. There's the Shockwave. I kissed Jody Ziegler on the oil derrick, and we went on the Shockwave. There's Superman. And I worked right by where Superman was. in the Hollywood Stunt show. I was a counter. I counted people as they walked in for a whole summer, and I was in love with the other girl. It was this dainty alternative chick that was real skinny. She had dark hair, and she was a counter too. I think she might have been from Dallas. And she just would kind of laugh at me. They finally fired me for being dangerous. I was hanging out with the stuntmen. They were from Hollywood and stuff. They had done stuff for Hollywood. They jump out of these Western sets like 20 or 30 feet in the air and land on this mattress. And I asked them if they'd help me do it too. And I was only a counter. They said, sure, come over here. And I was jumping off the second floor, landing in this on this mattress, doing all the stunts I could. I didn't do the high one. The high one was like 10 floors in the air or something. If you made a mistake on that one, you'd be surely dead. They didn't fire me for that though. They didn't find out about it. What happened was I went out and got this thing called a magic ball. It was a little bouncy ball. I went in the break room and I started bouncing it around. Sorry, I'm choking on a nut. I bounced it around and it hit one of their fluorescent lights. And I, got written up, and they said, no, you can't bring a bouncy ball in the break room. It was like a little back break room, and a little fluorescent light broke. It shattered. It shattered all over the place. Well, that wasn't the end of me. After counting more people, and we would sit there and count them all day with this little counter. And they'd walk in, and we'd be counting them. Little David Lynch counter. We were sitting there counting them all day. They're coming in, trying to figure out how many people are going to sit and watch this Hollywood Stunt show. And I don't even know if we would write it down. We would show it to someone. Well, one day I got hungry and I left. I got some nachos at one of their little nacho stand things where you get Mexican food nachos. Big old thing of nachos. I always get it for lunch, and I'd come back, and sometimes they would close the gate. And if the gate was closed at the Hollywood Stunt show, you couldn't really open it from the outside. So I climbed over the gate and kind of cut my arm a little bit. It wasn't really bad. And I had to go to the first aid thing where you open it up, and you had to sign your name if you used the first aid kit. When they realized I used the first aid kit and they asked me what happened, fired me just like that for being dangerous. So I said, well, I had to climb over the gate because, well, it was locked and I wanted to eat my nachos. What I should have done was just sat there in front of the gate and ate the nachos. But I like to climb around. I was a little monkey when I was younger. I was kind of a stunt guy. Anyway, the bouncy ball, which was a magic ball, and the nachos, and climbing over the fence thing, they didn't like it. So, but it wasn't like I was going to start my career at Six Flags. But they did have gun shows there. My friend Lamar worked there as Batman. He played Batman. He was an actor. Then his the Jessica, who was a hot chick at Wesleyan, she was the singer, blonde hair. She played Bat Lady, I think. I don't think it was Catwoman. I think it was Bat Lady. They had a whole entrance where they would enter on a cable, flying through the air, the cape behind, and he had this bullwhip. He would go and he'd show us how to use the bullwhip, and he was like the actor that would get on HBO and stuff. Oh, hats off to my friend Mark for getting on a Paramount set. It looks really cool. I saw it on Facebook.